New Orleans was already buzzing that morning. But no one at the small community tennis clinic had any idea that the day would soon become unforgettable. The kids came early, rackets dragging on the ground, shoes undone, laughter bouncing across the newly painted hard courts. Parents leaned on the fences sipping hot coffee, proud to watch their children pour into the sport they loved or were learning to love. They were all excited for one reason. Today was a reopening of the neighborhood courts Coco Gauff once trained on as a child. Renovated, repainted, restored, a gift from the city, a tribute to their hometown star. But what the organizers didn't know was that Coco, world champion, global icon, and favorite daughter of New Orleans, had quietly landed in the city the night before. And she had a surprise of her own. The courts that built a champion. Before Coco became the face of American tennis, before the Grand Slams, before the magazine covers and international headlines, there were these courts, cracks crawling across the concrete, nets frayed from summers too long and winters too short, chain-link fences leaning like tired guardians. But to young Coco, they were paradise. She sprinted across them barefoot after practice. She bounced energy balls against the walls between drills. She listened to the sounds of brass bands practicing down the street as she learned the rhythm of her forehand. So when the city announced a renovation, Coco called her team and said, "I need to be there. And don't tell anyone." This was a homecoming she wanted to feel, not announce. The clinic begins. At 10 a.m., the clinic was officially underway. Coaches handed out fresh tennis balls, bright neon against a smooth navy blue surface. The new nets gleamed in the morning sun. The lines were crisp, white, perfect. Little kids squealed as they tried to hit balls over the net for the first time. Older players ran footwork ladders like future stars preparing for a spotlight. One of the coaches, a former mentor of Coco's, blew his whistle and shouted, "Today is special. These courts are for you. A lot of champions started right here. You could be next." What he didn't know was that the champion he was referring to was walking toward the fence, hood up, sunglasses on. Her father whispered to her, "Ready?" Coco nodded, heart beating like a drumline. The moment the city will never forget. A group of 9-year-olds were practicing volleys when a ball rolled unexpectedly to a woman standing near the entrance. One of the kids shouted, "Miss, can you roll that back?" The woman bent down, picked up the ball, and instead of rolling it, she tossed up a perfect underhand feed. Smack! The kid volleyed it back. "Nice hands," the woman said. The coach turned around, annoyed. "You can't just—" He froze. The whistle slipped from his hand. The sunglasses came off. The entire court gasped. Someone screamed, "It's Coco Gauff!" What followed was pure, joyful chaos. Kids sprinted toward her, as if gravity had stopped working. Parents covered their mouths in shock. Phones flew into the air. Coco laughed, overwhelmed, as children wrapped themselves around her waist. She hugged them all, repeating, "I grew up right here. I'm so happy to be home." It didn't matter that she had just flown across the country. It didn't matter that she had tournaments coming up. In this moment, she wasn't Coco Gauff, world superstar. She was Coco from New Orleans. The emotional speech. After the cheers softened, Coco walked to center court. "One of you," she said, pointing at the kids, "will stand here one day and inspire someone else. I guarantee it." The parents clapped. The coaches wiped their eyes. A little girl wearing a purple headband whispered to her friend, "She looks like me. She started here. Maybe I can too." Coco heard the whisper, and she felt it. "That's why I came," she told them. "I'm here because I was once exactly where you are, excited, nervous, curious, hungry to learn." She placed her hand on the newly painted court. "These courts made me. Now they're yours." The clinic turns into a masterclass. What was supposed to be a short appearance stretched into hours. Coco didn't just wave or sign autographs. She coached. Station 1, serving. She showed a group of boys her signature serve stance. "Imagine reaching for the stars," she said as she tossed the ball high. The kids mimicked her, some shy, some overly dramatic, all completely inspired. Station 2, movement and footwork. Coco ran ladder drills with a dozen children, cheering for every small victory. "You're fast," she shouted at one girl. "You're stronger than you think," she told another. Parents filmed proudly, knowing this footage would be treasured for generations. Station 3, Rally Court. She teamed up with a shy boy who admitted he was scared to hit in front of people. Coco knelt down and said quietly, "I was scared when I first started too. Let's be scared together." On the next rally, he hit the cleanest forehand of his life. The entire crowd erupted. Coco high-fived him. He cried. She hugged him. It was that kind of day. The story behind the renovation. During a break, one of the reporters finally asked, "What made you want to keep this a surprise?" Coco smiled thoughtfully. "This place gave to me before I gave anything back. When I heard the courts were being renovated, I didn't just want to see them. I wanted to feel them again with the next generation on them. This is where my story began. Now I get to watch hundreds of new stories start." She looked around at the kids who were bouncing balls, chasing each other, swinging wildly and joyfully. The city reacts. Local newspapers printed headlines like, "A homegrown hero returns." Gauff restores more than just courts. She restores dreams. Social media exploded with clips of Coco coaching, laughing, connecting. Professional players commented admiration. Celebrities shared the story. But what mattered most was something simpler. Parents went home telling their kids, "If Coco can do it, so can you." Coaches said, "Hustle like Coco did." She never stopped. And the children? They lay in bed that night, telling stories about meeting their idol. Some dreamed of Wimbledon. Some dreamed of the U.S. Open. And some simply dreamed of tomorrow's practice on the new courts. The sunset promise. Before she left New Orleans, Coco returned alone to the courts. Just for a minute. She touched the fence. She walked the baseline. She breathed in the air of her childhood. Her father stood beside her, arms crossed proudly. "You did good today, Coco." She smiled. "I hope those kids felt what I felt when I started here." He nodded. Oh, they felt it. As the sun dipped low over the city, shining amber light across the brand new courts, Coco whispered, "Thank you for beginning my dream." And somewhere in the distance, music from a passing brass band floated across the wind, full of rhythm, joy, and home. Final word, a return that became a legacy. Coco Gauff didn't just renovate courts. She rebuilt hope. She didn't just visit a clinic. She lifted a community. She didn't arrive as a champion. She arrived as a daughter returning home. And in doing so, she sparked something bigger than tennis. A generation of dreamers. A neighborhood revived, a home court transformed into a birthplace of future greatness. Her surprise wasn't just heartwarming, it was historic. And for New Orleans, it was a day they will never forget. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.